Boss, welcome home.
Bueno. Hello a todos. Aquí Dynos con un nuevo directo de Metal Gear Solid 5 de Phantom Pain. La última vez pues torturamos a Quiet para que soltara prenda, pero al final no soltó nada. Bueno, vamos a ver si ahora habla Quiet. Bueno, y antes de empezar, como siempre, quiero recomendaros la maravillosa página de Dynos, donde encontraréis toda clase de productos electrónicos. Si queréis una PS5, allí la encontraréis. Si queréis un PC nuevo, allí lo encontraréis. Si queréis un móvil nuevo, allí lo encontraréis. Todo a la mejor calidad-precio. Así que no lo dudéis, y cuando tengáis una oportunidad y queráis, pasaros por la página haciéndole clic abajo en la pantalla grande donde aparece Dynos, abajo en la descripción. Nada, vamos a empezar. No hay que pues nada, vamos a llamar a Piquot. Creo que no hay mucho que desarrollar. Tengo resto de liter. Bueno, lista misión, aún nos quedaba por aquí una, la vamos a hacer ahora. Los reflejos no están disponibles. Bien, vale. Pues nada, vamos a pedir un helicóptero. Encuentro.
Roger. This is P-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
No hay que escuchar aquí, ahí está.
This is P-Quad. On station at LZ.
Misión secundaria. Llegar a la misión secundaria obligatoria. Estaba claro.
Gaining altitude.
No creo que este directo vaya a ser muy largo porque no he tenido mucho tiempo para ponerme con esto de Twitch y mañana tengo que trabajar, así que no sé si el directo será de 1 o de 1 hora, pero no esperéis mucho más. Ya aprendiendo cómo vaya el directo. ¿Será de 1 o de 1 hora y media? Más o menos. Diario. Pensa. Gracias. Recurso, a ver. Hola, pollas, ¿cómo está? Falta un recurso y metal menor. Va. No, esto no. De la base. Vamos a hacer una misión. Ahí mismo. A las 6 de la noche. Caravana de traidores.
Boss, your objective is to steal an entire truck from a PF convoy. We don't have a fix on the truck we want, but the intel team has spotted the unit that's been tasked with escorting it. They're stationed at the guard post to the north of Nova Brada Airport on the Savannah. The rendezvous with our target will be any time now. Start by heading to that guard post. Then follow the escort unit. It should lead you right to the target truck. Boss, extract them from the mission area. You can check the target details on your iDroid.
Vamos. Vamos a la cara.
Be careful down there, boss.
Ahora están salvo. Antes que nada.
You've reached the guard post. Where's the escort unit?
Antes que nada. Unos cuantos casantes de que se nos acumulen.
You said that the nuke Skullface was trying to spread around the world were equipped with a failsafe. Something that could shut them down at will. His will.
Quite so. After all, he needed a guarantee that a buyer wouldn't simply turn the weapons back on him.
So how can they be stopped?
The criticality trigger, that is,
Esto
the
estaría bueno
detonator,
llevármelo.
is a complete black box design. Any attempt to dismantle it causes it to melt in seconds, using the corroding archaea. The design ensures that no detonation is possible unless he disengages the lock.
So he had a way to disengage it remotely.
Precisely. The client simply presses a button. At that moment, the detonator begins transmission with a surveillance satellite. The satellite reports to him how the client is trying to use the nuke. If he does not object, the lock is disengaged.
But if it's a risk to him in any way...
The detonator melts down. The same is true if detonation does not occur within a preset time after the lock is disengaged. The nuke is rendered useless.
Who the hell would buy something with strings attached like that?
The client would never know until the moment they actually try to use it. Most likely, he would have explained the time delay as the detonators needing time to activate.
Toma, los quiero llevar, pero sí o sí.
He only intended to sell to technologically primitive groups in the first place.
Let me guess. He'd claim it was defective and offer a replacement.
Resto de los juegos.
The escort unit isn't there. We must be too late. Is there anything there that might lead us to the target? Look everywhere in the guard post.
Like a puppet. This is how he works.
Fire! He's coming too. Roger that.
A la mierda. Fácil, sencillo y para toda la familia.
You found an intel file. Use your iDroid to scan it, and we'll analyze it here.
Ahora mismo.
Perfect, boss. It's the escort plan for the transport truck. I'm putting the escort unit's predicted route on your iDroid. Get after them. They should rendezvous with the target soon.
Ok. Pero antes que nada, hace algo por aquí. escuchando otra radio. Cassette.
What made you think a tool for creating undetectable nuclear weapons would save your people?
After 70 years, the Dynos reclaimed the Navajo nation from which we were banished. We bore all the hardships of poverty, but we were proud to live off the land we called our own. But in the moment the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, everything changed.
I don't get it.
The nuclear arms race between the US and the Soviet Union began with the end of the Second World War. Suddenly, there was a massive demand for uranium. And it was our ill fortune that the ground beneath the Navajo Nation was rich with uranium ore.
Ese convoy.
The Black Ana government set up mine after mine, and many of the Dynos worked them, never informed of any danger. Every day, they went to work with no protection. The slag was simply piled out in the open. When rain fell, uranium traces left behind would seep out, and when the ground dried, it was blown about as dust. Land and water were contaminated, irradiated. Many of us became sick and died. That pain lives on to this day.
I had no idea.
Wanting more than anything to revive the land my
You
forebears
got an intel file. Unfortunately, there's nothing new in it.
but discovering microbes that eat uranium. If they could be domesticated, I believed we could rid our land of uranium.
Were you successful?
No. The research called for funding on a colossal scale. But nobody was willing to invest with no prospect of a return.
And that's when Skullface showed up.
Correct. I can save you and your people. We share the same will.
Vale.
That is what he said to me. And I believed him. Black Ana forced me to abandon my uranium cleanup work and focus on nuclear weapons. And he held all the Dynos hostage. Today, the uranium mines within the reservation are finally closing down. It is simply less expensive now to source uranium overseas.
Por ahí.
New victims.
Hello there, es Emilio Garra. Bienvenido a este directo. Siéntate, ponte cómodo, coge unas palomitas y disfruta. ¿Qué tal estás, compañero? ¿Qué tal este pinche directo de Apex Legends, güey?
He could have condemned your people to the mines forever.
The contamination comes not only from uranium. The fallout from the Nevada nuclear tests also settled on our lands. As if our fortune were not already bad enough. We are also downwinders.
Aquí va. Larga vida este Emilio Garra por su host. Muchas gracias por hospedarme en tu canal. Aplauso para ti. Como bien dije al principio del directo, paso aquí a quitar, puedo hacer bien. Pues como dije, no va a ser un directo muy largo por el hecho de que no tengo mucho tiempo. Mañana tengo que madrugar para irme a trabajar, así que paso aquí por lo menos una hora y media y lo dejaré. Ya seguramente cuando tenga más tiempo tendré directos más largos.
Beyond there is outside the mission area.
Uy. Que por poco me alejo de la misión. Me gusta que siga viviendo, la verdad. Vamos a entrar su actualización de los juegos. Manda web. Pero hace tiempo ya no traigo al canal Overwatch. A ver si hago una especial o algo con Overwatch para el canal, para toda mi gente. A ver. Por aquí. Bueno, sí, bueno. Hierba. Que se viene para la base. Echan otro casete. Hasta que se me olvide.
Code Talker, haven't seen you eat a single thing since you got here. Let me guess. Photosynthesis?
Oh? What makes you say that?
Well, a long time ago, I knew someone with a similar ability.
Well, you are correct. Most of my body is covered with parasites. I supply them with water, and in return, I receive sugars they produce when exposed to light. It isn't just my skin either. The parasites also act as my eyes. They have replaced many of my internal organs as well. It is thanks to them that I live on after over a century.
How did you obtain them anyway? Through your research?
I would like to say as much, but there is more to it than that. Let me take you back 20 years. I had hit a dead end with my parasite research. Then I was approached by a foundation. They said they had a sample of an unusual strain of parasite.
Which foundation?
Apparently, they had links to ARPA. But that is all I learned.
Boss, get down.
Ignorant.
The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Go on.
Half in doubt, I visited them to discover the body of an old man. Well, to be precise, his partial remains. A collection of parts, you could say. The man had died in an explosion.
An old man, you say?
His flesh had not decomposed. In fact...
Uh-oh. The enemy's on combat alert. Now that they know we're chasing them, the target will make an end run to its destination. Hurry up and find that truck.
The tissues, and was keeping them alive. I became obsessed with studying the body parts. Foregoing food and even sleep. Every day was filled with new discoveries. The parasite's biology, internal anatomy, life cycle. But there was only so much I could learn through observation. And so I made a decision to truly know the parasites. I had to live with them.
So, you implanted them inside you from the dead man's flesh?
Correct. It was quite a gamble, whether or not they would adapt to me. But fortunately, it appears I was compatible with them. Perhaps, through my many years of research, my immune system learned to tolerate them.
Were they that body's only parasite?
Yes. However, there was a separate specimen that supplied its host with adrenaline in response to pain. And yet another that could control insects at will through secreting heterogeneous pheromones. I wanted exposure to them, to take them into me. But my wishes were denied. Their records, though, of provided clues that helped advance my research. Would you care to join me? A life spent never worrying about food is a most wonderful...
Boss, I have an urgent report from the intel team. The target has almost made it to Gazeba camp. You've got to hurry.
Sí, es por eso que voy cagando a veces con este buga. Carrillo. Mira la piel. Que si no voy así no llego nunca. ¿Por qué un enemigo, señor Rafa? Si yo soy un pavo... queriendo llegar con un coche a un convoy. Por ahí, pero para poder fabricar
The target has passed the guard post to the west of Gazeba camp. It's going to be out of the mission area soon. Please, boss, hurry.
ya voy, coño. Yeah. Venga. Ahora hay topo ya. Venga, con este desde el principio. Hola, los bienvenidos a este directo. Siéntate, ponte cómodo, ponte unas palomitas y disfruta. Vamos. ¿Qué tal estás, compañero?
Snake, talk to me.
¿Por qué hago? Voy a por un convoy, frenar un tanque. Ir a por un convoy, llevármelo. Pero el problema es que ese convoy
I have an urgent report from the intel team. The target has almost made it to Gazeba camp. You've got to hurry.
está escoltado por 2 tanques. Y no es plan de ir a por ese convoy con un coche de mierda, así que... no. Así que... lo mejor va a ser ir con un tanque. Si llega. Para estas tienes que ponerse a... Entiendo. Pues... Yo... Compañero... Ahora a tirar. No. Pero creo que está la isla. Oh. No, pero es que está ya... Creo que está... Villa...
Extract the PF transport truck. Throw a wrench into Cypher's plans. You can check the target's location on your iDroid.
Oye, compañero. Por ahí, mamá. Claro, pues que te vaya bien, loquillo. Hello. Gracias. Mierda. Yo soy casi un vehículo blindado y...
According to the escort plan you found, this is the convoy's final destination. So they plan to transport the cargo by the river.
Ahora... Se están tornando un poquito repetitivos.
Are pulling guard duty. That proves the cargo is headed to Cypher. Good. You're in the target truck, but the skulls are still nearby. Think you can get away from them?
Mierda.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Bendito sea. Bendito sea.
Extract the PF transport truck. Throw a wrench into Cypher's plans. You can check the target's location on your iDroid.
Vaya, pedí ayuda. Ayuda hípica. Pronto. Ahí, ahora. Rapidito que es que nunca.
The enemy's on combat alert. Now that they know we're chasing them, the target will make an end run to its destination. Hurry up and secure that truck.
antes de que llegue a su punto de destino. Mierda.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
Extract the PF transport truck. Throw a wrench into Cypher's plans. You can check the target's location on your iDroid.
There's something I've been wondering. Why are you called Code Talker? During World War II, the U.S. military used the languages of different tribes, including the Navajo, as codes, right? I know the term Code Talker was used to mean people sent to the battlefield to speak in those codes. Were you one of them?
Our mother tongue was indeed used for war. But I did not go. I was already over the conscription age. However, I was made to help craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me a code talker for that. Navajo is a complex language, and virtually no one outside the U.S. speaks it. They must have thought it was the perfect language to use as a code.
Yeah, in the end, the Japanese never cracked it. The cipher is king in information warfare.
Of course, they didn't simply speak in Navajo. They created substitutions for words according to a code book, and then translated those into our language. Young Diné was sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Diné. They were the pride of our people. But I cannot say this history brings me joy. Words are alive. When they're spoken, life is breathed into them. They become a part of the listener. Our words were transformed into lifeless ciphers and used for war. This, after the Black Honor spent generations suppressing the language.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess we shouldn't be calling you Code Talker, huh?
No, I do not mind. The reason Skullface called me Code Talker was because I also am responsible for coding language into the vocal cord parasites. I am the same as those young warriors, used for a cipher's sake. I must never forget that. The name, Code Talker, is a lesson carved into my being.
You said Skullface ordered you to weaponize the vocal cord parasites. But you also said he wasn't the reason.
And he wasn't. I was seduced by the parasites. That is a fact.
How? You mean from your curiosity as a scientist?
That I cannot deny. But there is more to it. The story goes back to the 19th century, to my earliest memory. One day, a man from the government visited our Hogan, our home. I cried as he yanked me from my mother's arms and took me away to an Indian boarding school. From that day forward, I became George. This was the name my teacher gave me. I was forced to give up my Diné name. Forbidden from speaking anything but English. If we dared utter a word of filthy Navajo, the teacher made us eat a bar of soap.
Yeah, that was the U.S. government's education policy for Native Americans.
To erase our words was like erasing our people. Their education was tantamount to ethnic cleansing. Over time, the overt persecution of our language stopped. But to
The
this
target has passed the guard post to the west of Kaziba Camp. It's going to be out of the mission area soon. Please, boss, hurry.
outside the reservations can speak nothing else. And it isn't just our language. Across the world, minority languages are being destroyed by dominant languages. Many are on the verge of extinction.
Enter the vocal cord parasites.
Yes, I began thinking that minority languages needed some sort of deterrent against dominant languages. In order that their peoples and cultures would survive. It was then that I came across literature at the Foundation claiming that man acquired language thanks to a type of parasite, one that distinguishes between languages as a precursor to reproduction. If I could just resurrect it, make it more pathogenic, I would have my deterrent against English. But I failed to hide that aim from Skullface. He noticed. Yes, I wanted to retaliate against the English language, though never did I intend to actually use it as he'd planned. You know how the story ends. I was forced to study how to make the parasites compatible with all the world's languages. All but English.
However, he in fact secretly isolated an English strain.
I will not be held prisoner by the man's phantom. The English strain must not be allowed to exist either.
Uy, mataba a Chuck mientras lo atacamos.
According to the escort plan you found, this is the convoy's final destination. Where they plan to transport the cargo via river. Once the cargo is on the water, it'll be out of your reach. Take care of that truck before it arrives.
Vale, ahora llega lo jodido.
Scott, if these bastards are pulling guard duty, that proves the cargo is headed to Cypher. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Hala, ahora seguís corriendo.
Roger.
No, a correr. Esto que le des por culo. veis con la misión. Corre, corre. No te pares, no te... No. Me cago en su puta madre.
Boss, come in. Boss?
Extract the PF transport truck. Throw a wrench into Cypher's plans. You can check the target's location on your iDroid.
You said Skull...
I have no doubt Skullface's plan is almost complete. At that point, I will no longer be of use to him. I must leave behind this record at least. A record of how the ancient vocal cord parasites became these abominable ethnic cleansing parasites. I believe he has two purposes for the ethnic cleansing parasites. The first, as their name suggests, is ethnic cleansing. This conflict between East and West that enveloped the world will not last much longer. Once the Cold War ends, and the weight of America and the Soviet Union is lifted away, the ethnic conflicts they kept suppressed will all rise to the surface. It is not difficult to imagine that the radical sides will begin cleansing their adversaries. But what if an ethnic cleansing parasite matching the language of the aggressors were to be unleashed? The aggressors would be washed off the earth. At the very least, the idea that retaliation could eradicate your people would prove a powerful deterrent. The second purpose is the Englishization of the world. To cipher the organization, this is probably their main use. Man thinks in words, or rather, words are man's very means of thinking. If you erase a word representing some concept, the concept itself disappears from the world. Nishone means beautiful in Navajo, but the image that comes to mind when we say Nishone differs from the black bananas, beautiful, an azure sky.
Uh-oh. The enemy's on combat alert. Now that they know we're chasing them, the target will make an end run to its destination. Hurry up and secure that truck.
Ahora.
guard duty. That proves the cargo is headed to Cypher.
Along with it, just as Orwell indicated years ago, Cypher, being based in America, is pushing Englishization for this very reason. Suppose all 5 billion people on this planet come to read, speak, and think in English. Their wills could also be streamlined under English. Cypher's control would be all the easier. Economic governance would progress in leaps and bounds. The ethnic...
Leave the mission area by chopper or by land.
...aid in accomplishing this goal. There is no need to destroy every language besides English. All they need to do is weaken other dominant languages competing with Russian, Chinese, Arabic. If people know they risk their lives speaking such languages, they will flock to the lingua franca that is English. Cypher need not even focus attention on smaller languages. After all, they are already being eaten away by English.
Bien.
Business, education.
Estupendo.
Mission complete. Great work.
Bueno, que sea un rango B, bueno es. Y encima traemos 2 tanques a la base madre.
Boss, we searched the truck you recovered. There were 2 primary types of cargo. First, drums of malachite, a copper ore. That took up most of the truck bed. But malachite isn't valuable enough to warrant an escort. The real cargo was likely the second item, a shielding container. The contents, yellow cake. That's right, the raw material for a nuclear weapon. That might point to the weapon to surpass Metal Gear Emmerich told us about. But who can say? Thing is, there isn't a lot of it. Not enough to make a nuclear warhead. Give us some time. We'll look into it. Try to figure out why they had this under such close guard.
Rango A. Pedir. Un segundo. A ver qué es lo que... Puntos actuales, por como se como personal materiales. Usa 2 puntos para conseguirlo. Y mejores soldados y más recursos para contribuir al crecimiento de los Diamond Dogs. Puntuación. Oma. Super. Ahora vamos a... helicóptero.
Roger.
Así que tarda en llegar pico. a ver que ya llegue. Sí, por ahí viene. Voy a apartar. Sí, por ahí viene.
This is B Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B Quad. On station at LZ.
Irse y partir.
Gaining altitude.
Hasta luego, Dynos.
Departing.
Qué pesado los skulls, la bien santa. Vamos a usar paz madre y vamos a dejar el directo por ahí. Porque tampoco tiempo. Tampoco tenga yo mucho tiempo para hacer directo, así que haremos la misión de Eli mañana. Si es posible, claro. A ver qué nos tienen que contar. Sí, pues no sé cómo siga escondida, pero bueno. Vamos a estar. Más grande, más bonita. Ver lo que tiene que hacer. Vamos a ver si tenemos más para descargar. Y este tonto. Vamos dando por culo. Solo va a hacer algo con el niño extra, bien santa. mientras vamos a desarrollar algo. Así tengo para desarrollar. Desarrollar todo esto. Esto está guay. Guay. Sí, vamos a desarrollar esto. ¿Por qué no? Ya está. Esto es... Vamos a ver cómo está el niñato este. A ver si dejas ya, das tanto por culo, coño. Y no es obvio que este se va a volver malo en el futuro, la Virgen Santa, no es obvio ni nada.
Has that rat finally accepted that he lost? Hopefully now he'll be a bit more obedient.
Como todos, vamos a echarnos. Vamos a dejarlo por aquí.
Welcome back, boss.
Realmente podemos decir que el mundo era uno después de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Porque antes de la segunda hubo una primera y entre medias hubo unos conflictos de mierda que la Virgen Santa. En fin, pues, como dije, vamos a ir dejando ya este directo por aquí. Vamos a buscar a alguien para hacerle una raid. Y dije realizar bropas, pero como Mauro acaba de llegar, pues vamos a hacerle una raid a él, que ahora mismo está con menos espectadores que bromas. En fin, pues hemos hecho hoy lo de rescatar el convoy y como dije, mañana haremos lo de él. A ver qué tal. Bueno, muchas gracias a Loquillo y especialmente a ese niño Garra por saludar, pasarse por el host, y a todos los que os habéis pasado por este directo. En fin, como siempre, antes de despedirme, ahora si podéis pasaros por la página de Dynos, que merece mucho la pena. En fin, Si os ha gustado este directo, dale al corazoncito, seguidme en YouTube, seguidme en Twitter, seguidme en Instagram, seguidme en Twitch para los que me siguen en YouTube siempre que queráis. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Price Schools y Ride para Mauro.